Leslie, could you turn down the air conditioning?
Yeah, is the AC?
Turn it cold.
It'll get real warm once people get in here. I wouldn't suggest changing it.
Good.
You give it about 10 minutes, it'll get hot.
Okay. We'll talk about it later. Thank you.
He's waving. What's up?
Keep playing. Keep playing. Me?
He's talking to you. All right.
Okay. Brandon, I don't know. Text it to me.
Her mic is on. It's been on. It was on. Her mic was on when I walked in and I heard her through the speaker.
Test.
Do you want me to do it all? Or do you mind?
Oh, I can do it.
I don't mind for that.
Oh, okay.
Whatever's easier for you.
I got it, I think.
Sorry.
I got it, I think. I need you all. What? Okay. Matches.
The mic was not on. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakeland. I'm Brandon Knuckles, the chair of the Board of Trustees. If you are entering the sanctuary, we do ask that you wear your masks throughout the service. If there is any point that you are cued to sing, we're asking you not to actually fully sing. The CDC recommendations is singing is still pretty risky. So you can hum, you can sway, you can do a little jig in your area, or you can lightly sing with your mask on. Thank you.
We'll begin with our in-gathering hymn, We Gather Together.
We gather together in joyful thanksgiving, acclaiming creation whose bounty we share. Both sorrow and gladness we find now in our living. We sing a hymn of praise to the life that we bear. We gather together to join in the journey, confirming, committing our passage to be a true affirmation in joy and tribulation. When bound to human care and hope, then we are free.
Good morning. Our opening words this morning are by Reverend Susan McGinn. From beyond the playful summer clouds, beyond the earth's thin blue line, from beyond the bright moon and meteor showers, we hear the call to look and listen carefully, to turn away from a world that buys and sells happiness, to fully experience the luring whisper of your heart's truth. Why not today? Why not now? We are here and together at home in this evolving place, home in this dewy morning, even as it reaches toward a hot high noon. We hear the call from far beyond and deep within, and we do not hear it alone. Come, let us worship together. I continue. Welcome to the virtual worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakeland. I am Carl Crossan, worship associate for today. I use the pronouns he and him. Starting in July 1, I will be serving this congregation on the Board of Trustees. I look forward to working with the board and learning about the machinations of this church since I'm a new member. I'm looking forward to working and getting to know the congregation. I also have one personal thing I'm looking forward to. Tomorrow is Marilyn, my wife of 57 years, her birthday. Unitarian Universalists know that diversity and pluralism is a strength to be multicultural, multiracial, and multi-generational is the only way to build the bridge to a future which holds the promise of love and justice. We welcome you, whatever your identity and life experiences. Here you are affirmed and you are loved. Today's service will help to root us in love, to remind us to be mindful, and to provide us one way of moving through this transitional stage of the pandemic. Our space will be made sacred as we light our chalice. Francesca. The words are A Spark of Hope by Melanie Davis. If ever there was a time for a candle in the darkness, this would be it. Using a spark of hope, kindle the flame of love, ignite the light of peace, and feed the flame of justice. In this community, we make space to listen to one another, to all of our stories, leaving no one behind, finding the radiance in each of us despite our hardships. Each of us walks a different path, but we know that together we are stronger. Our community is sustained by the giving of our best selves, our time, our talents, and our treasures. Please take a moment when you are able to write a check to UUCL or to make a donation through the PayPal link found in the chat. Thank you all so much for continuing to be a part of this caring community. Today we will pass the plates. Please give as you can as a gesture of gratitude for what we have created and sustained.
Thank you. Let us take a moment to center ourselves, to focus on the way that we've shown up here today, to bring awareness to our thoughts, and to be intentional about being together. Get comfortable in your chair, or if you're on Zoom, whatever it is you're sitting on. Close your eyes. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. And one more time, take in a deep breath. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Feel your body as it is in this room. Start with your toes. Give them a wiggle. Press your feet into the floor as a way to feel grounded and connected to the earth, our source of life. Move your attention to your lower legs, tensing them for just a second, and then relaxing them. And then your upper legs. Feel them tense and relax. Continue to breathe. Shift in your seat if you need to. Allow yourself to be comfortable. And move your awareness now to the core of your body. Notice your stomach. How are you feeling in your stomach this morning? Are you relaxed? Or is there tension, nervousness, hunger, fullness? Take this time to really know how you are feeling in your stomach. And what about in your chest? How does it feel to take a deep breath, to feel air moving into your lungs, and to release it? Move your focus to your arms and your shoulders and your back. Is there tension or discomfort there? Just breathe and notice what is going on for you. Move to noticing your neck, your jaw, your eyes, your head. Is anything going on in these parts of your body? Is there tension, confusion, or are you at ease? Whatever it is, accept it and know that it is okay. It is okay to just be aware of what you are feeling physically. Take in another breath and hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let us examine our thoughts and feelings about being here today, whether it's in the sanctuary or on Zoom. Don't dwell on any one thought in particular. Just let it show up. Notice it. Let it go. And allow the next thought to come up. Notice it. Let it go. Being here like this today, some of us inside the sanctuary with a group of people, still wearing masks, after more than a year apart, in our new chairs that we purchased just before lockdown and barely got to sit in. And some of us still on Zoom, perhaps in the comfort of our own homes. Wherever you are, just be aware of your space and what and who is around you. What are the thoughts coming into your head as your awareness of your body and this space increases? Don't judge them. Don't force those thoughts to be only full of joy or only full of sorrow. Let them be what they are with all their complexities. Acknowledge all the thoughts that arise so that you know who you are in this sacred time that we have together today. All of the ways that you are feeling about being here today are valid. All of those ways matter. You matter. As Unitarian Universalists, we know that we are all connected. So how we show up when we're together impacts how we leave this place and what we do next. Keep breathing. Don't get stuck on one thought or feeling. Take in one last deep breath. Release and return to the room. And to the people that surround you in the room, to the people that are connected to us through technology. Thank you for taking that moment to pay careful attention to yourself, to know yourself, so that you can know and care for this community. When the pandemic hit, it was like a light switch. And we simply flipped that switch to the off and lockdown position. Without thinking too much about it, we got to work right away on doing and being in church in a different way, being and doing in life a different way. It's what we had to do to care for ourselves and one another. We didn't know how long we'd have to be apart. But in the beginning, I remembered hearing that it would just be a few months. That made it sound doable, I suppose. It was easy at that time to imagine our gathering back together again, our return to normal, the light switch flipping up to on and you're free. Tim and I talked about having a day-long party when we could get back together again. I mean, we'd start with a worship service, but naturally we'd be so happy to be together that we'd just hang out and have fun all day long and, dance around with flowers in our hair and celebrate. Maybe it'd be the roaring 20s 100 years later. Well, here we are, not 3 months later, but over a year later. And Lordy, I am far too tired at this point in time to party all day with y'all. I feel joy, of course, about our being able to be together somehow, in some way, but I also noticed something that erodes that a little bit. I can't really name it, but it's maybe tiredness after all this doing things differently. I know I've been in a high creativity mode for months now. Maybe it's anxiety about all of us staying healthy, or perhaps there's some awkwardness about being here and socially distanced and on Zoom and social media, or it's just all of these things combined and we don't actually have a name for all of these ways in which we are experiencing the world. There's been no switch to flip to turn us back to normal or to what we thought normal was. Indeed, and we have Petra to thank for this analogy, it's been more like a dimmer, slowly turning on the light, maybe dimming it a few times more before heading toward light again, and we don't really know when we'll be fully in the light again, or what that light will expose, or even for how long it will last. Our awareness of life's tragedies, of our own mortality, of how little control we actually have, has created an existential crisis for many of us, and I know I'm feeling it on a collective level. Certainly, I don't think I'm alone when I say I'm feeling a little strange, and I really just need to slow down. Being somewhere in between can be a bit disorienting. We've never done this before. We don't really know what it is supposed to look like, and we don't really know what we should see when that dimmer switch turns the light all the way on. This can make us feel like we don't have much control. And for many of us, that's a really uncomfortable thing. So to compensate for that, we're rushing to get things back to the way they were, to get everything back in order, to start doing it all like we used to, so that we feel like we know what's going on, like we actually have some control over our lives. And that's normal, and that's safe, or it feels safe. And I don't blame any of us for trying to make that happen. But it actually can't go that way. And that's what I'm talking about today. Today we are here to bring some awareness to what is really going on. Not that we'll know for quite a few years. But we are here to learn how to slow it down. We are here to listen, to be intentional, to be sure that we handle this moving into a new future together in the most loving and caring way. As the UUA president, the Reverend Susan Frederick Gray reminds us, be humane and realistic with expectations of ourselves and others. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The most important values in this time are care and compassion. We've experienced a year of traumatic disruption and loss. It's important to have honest conversations about our capabilities and expectations. And keep in mind that significant changes might be overwhelming, even if they are dearly wanted. And I'd like to share this excerpt from an article I found on kevinmd.com. It was written by Saloni Sharma, a physical medicine and rehabilitation physician. She writes, "We cannot go back to the future because we are not the same people, and the world is not the same place that it was more than a year ago. We have seen too much and now face the future from a new perspective. Re-entry can be a difficult transition after any major change in circumstances and is often considered in regards to people socially isolated in Antarctica for months, soldiers returning home, survivors of major illnesses, people returning from jail, and other people who have faced an isolating reality and/or life-changing trauma. While the social isolation, lockdown, and collective trauma may be at a different level than other traumatic re-entry events, the collective loss of life, prolonged period, shattered work experience, and disrupted daily reality of the pandemic has set the stage for a potentially stressful or awkward transition back to normal life. The thought of noisy traffic, crowded sidewalks, and busy restaurants may feel slightly overwhelming and carry some degree of sensory overload initially. After experiencing the deaths, the noise of life may be too loud. Yet the best way to handle this may be to explore little bite-sized pieces of our brave new world. This allows for a period of recovery and adjustment before venturing out again, taking the baby steps of trying one re-entry experience at a time, a dinner, a walk in the city, or afternoon in the park, may ease the transition. As with other stressors, starting with being present and mindful of our feelings and other people's feelings helps de-escalate our internal situation and allows us to zoom out. And by this, I think she means to take a step back and get a larger perspective on what's going on. This may include practicing breathing techniques, using a mindfulness application, connecting with a loved one, discussing re-entry concerns with a supportive friend. We may not know exactly what lies on the other side of the door, but re-entering society at our own pace with intention, mindfulness, and compassion for ourselves and for others will help us get back to our new future with greater ease. We have taken some first steps together today towards being mindful. We have paid attention to our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves. It will be important that we continue to do this on a regular basis as we re-enter the world. We have to know how it is that we are showing up in the moment. And it will be vitally important to understand that others are showing up in ways that are different than before. Although we can't know where they may be at, we can be intentional about how we are in our relationships with them. When we are in a church community, it is our relationships that bind us together and determine who we are, who we become, and how we impact the world. Let us be mindful about our relationships as we re-enter the world together. Our relationships will determine whether we are successful and healthy or not. So I want to share with you and expand upon a tool that was given to me during a workshop this year at Meadville Lombard Theological School. I believe that it was presented by the Reverend Tandy Rogers. She called it the Holy Rewind Button. It is a tool that one can use when a situation or a conversation starts to go awry, towards conflict, towards ending in feeling badly instead of feeling loved. I added a couple more buttons to the mix just because I really wanted to help us slow it down. Experts say that trauma residue will be around for a long time, that humans actually don't get over things quickly. The Reverend Sunshine Jeremiah Wolf said in a video on the UUA website that it could take 5 to 10 years of deliberate work to heal from the trauma of this pandemic. However, this actually gives us lots of room to be nimble, to focus on our mission, which for this church is love plus connection equals transformation. And that will give everybody space to heal and for all of us as a collective to move towards spiritual wholeness. So let me introduce you to some tools that will help us out as we heal together. First, we are going to learn how to hit the pause button on our remote control for life. I'll start with an example from my own life. It's a simple conversation. Nothing really about anything significant. But had I not hit the pause button, it could have gone in the wrong direction. Last night, I asked my daughter to please get me some ibuprofen while she was up. Sure, she said, where is it? I don't know, I answered. I think it's in the bottom drawer. She looked. I can't find it, she called from the kitchen. What does it look like? It's in a white bottle, I answered. If it's not in the drawer, then maybe it's in the basket on the counter. She comes out from the kitchen and hands me a blue and red bottle of Tylenol. I don't want Tylenol. Oh, she says, wrong bottle. So I get up and I go to the kitchen and look in the aforementioned basket on the counter, and there was the white bottle of ibuprofen right there in the front. And I start. Alexandria, it's right here where I told you to look. Oh, hold up, my brain tells me, because it starts to feel the tension in my shoulders and in my chest, and I know that it's time to hit the pause button. Okay, hold up, pause. Do I really want her to feel bad for not finding the bottle that I am obviously capable of finding myself? Don't I love and respect her and want her to know that? Yes, indeed. So I hit that holy pause button quickly. Can you think of a time recently when you should have hit that holy pause button on your remote control for life? It's available to you anytime you need it. Go ahead and recall a recent conversation in which you wish you could have hit that button. What would that have looked like? Here's a reading, an excerpt from a sermon entitled The Call of Our Faith by the Reverend Takaya Nur Amin. In every moment, life is giving us an invitation. I really believe that. I really believe that in every moment, life is giving us an invitation to do the things that are the most loving and life-affirming. And that doing the loving and life-affirming thing is always the answer when you don't know what to do or if you're feeling unsure. There's always a moment of invitation to rethink or reevaluate. We're being invited into this cosmic dance of renewal and joy and justice, but you have to make the justice. It doesn't just show up without our participation or our effort. Things don't get better just by us waiting for them to happen. We all have to engage in the better making from wherever we are, and each moment presents an invitation for us to do that. I don't want us to forget that. Even if, like me, you are tired or feeling frustrated or feeling unsure, the invitation to participate in a manner that is about living our values, living love and justice, is still there, no matter what else is going on. Ask yourself, what's the most loving, life-affirming thing that I can do in this moment for myself or for other people? Back to my moment in the kitchen. I've hit pause because a simple conversation could have escalated into an all-out war over feeling bad about trying to help. She is 17. And I know that. I know myself and I know who I'm talking to, although I don't always know how she may be feeling in the moment or how overall she is feeling about a long year of isolation and anxiety. I value her. And certainly, my relationship with my daughter is my most precious relationship. Have I shown her this? It's now time for the holy rewind button. Remember those days, some of you? So I let my daughter know I was doing this. Wait, I said, I'm rewinding. Let me start over. Alexandria, thank you for taking the time to look for the ibuprofen while you were up. I found it here in this green basket. I'll put it back in the drawer so we both know where it is for next time. Take the ibuprofen and return to the living room where she is also sitting. I do know that we are both tired, and obviously I'm in pain, thus the ibuprofen. And because I've used those holy pause and rewind buttons, I've not added to our tiredness and pain. We're going to enjoy a hymn filled with loving kindness. You can sway, you can hum.
May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
The most important thing to ask yourselves when you feel that you have begun and want to restart an important conversation is this. What do I want this relationship that I am in with this person to be like? And am I acting like that's what I want? You might even want to write that down on a note card and carry it with you. Take it out when you start feeling that tension, wherever it shows up in your body and your brain. Says, hold up. Get out your remote control and hit the pause button. Rewind. Try this again. We can do that. We have to do that if we want to move into the future with love. We have to know that we are all feeling all sorts of different ways. Joyful, yet grieving, excited, yet anxious, longing, yet apprehensive, and 100 more ways we aren't even familiar with. There are many things we cannot control, but we do get to decide how to move forward with love and connection so that we may transform ourselves and the world. You too have a remote control. You too can hit those holy pause, rewind, and play buttons. It's okay to say that you don't really know what you're doing because you've never felt this way before or never done it this way before. None of us have. It is healing to go back and try it again from a place of loving kindness. Pause, rewind, and move forward in a kind of spiritual play. The Unitarian Universalist minister Dean Starr, born in 1923 and passed away in 1996 from AIDS, wrote these 10 suggestions for a healthy congregation. I call them holy spiritual play and the way to move forward with love. I'm going to read them to you now. 1, always be kind to one another, even if you think meanness is justified. 2, always attribute the best possible motives to one another, even when you do not understand one another's words and actions. 3, promise to one another only what you really intend and are capable of delivering. 4, laugh and cry together, sharing both your joys and heartaches. 5, be very quick to praise one another and very slow to criticize. 6, defend one another, but avoid being defensive. 7, accept one another's gifts with gratitude. Accept one another's deficiencies with grace. 8, do not tell one another how to feel. Remember that feelings are facts and treat them accordingly. 9, greet each new day with expectation and each hour of rest with thanksgiving. And 10, let your eyes light up when you come into one another's presence. Today we are having a potluck picnic on our patio, or if you are on Zoom, you can all have a social time there. All ways are real and important. I'm asking you to make this the most sacred part of your day. Be mindful in our being together, mindful of yourself, and mindful that the people that you are conversing with are in a place of healing and recovering too. If you need to use the holy buttons of pause, rewind, and move forward with love, they are there for you. We create the way things work as we move ahead. The spectrum of possibilities awaits for us to discover when we pause, rewind, and move forward with love. Root yourself in loving kindness. Remember that it will take time, and the slower we go, the more we pause and rewind, the sooner we arrive at transformation.
Closing words today are from Richard S. Gilbert. By our presence here, we are one another. We are here with one another. Hearing the harmony that is the music of the spheres, may some of the harshness and discord in our human lives be transmuted into music. A new song in our hearts may be there. A new harmony in our beings, so that we can return to our several duties with fresh courage and with eagerness and with rejoicing. Let it be so. Please join me in the extinguishing the chalice.
Francesca, please extinguish the chalice.
We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Thank you. Well, I'll have a few announcements. Let's see here. Dorothy Lemmy and Ken Schmidt are leaving to go back to Ohio for the summer. I know. But when they come back, they'll be staying here for good. That's what I hear. Yay! I know, isn't that fantastic? And I know Judy Pell is leaving, and her husband Tom, they're leaving some point. The week of June 7th. Judy and her husband Tom are leaving to go back north for a little bit. They'll be back too. Let's see. I got some good news this week. One of the friends of our congregation, Floyd Love, who many of you might know as the one of the directors, producers of the Broadway chorus that we had going on here before the pandemic. He won an award. Let's see. He says they won the 2021 Salt and Pepper Award presented by the Senior Connection Center in the category of Arts and Entertainment. And so he accepted that award on behalf of the Broadway chorus and all the members past and present whose contributions and support made it possible. So good job, Floyd. Great job, Broadway chorus. And thank you to all who have supported Broadway chorus in the past. Thank you. We have some here in our sanctuary. Thank you, thank you. I don't know. So there's a worship committee meeting on Wednesday at 5 p.m., and that'll be hybrid, so it will be here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. And then we have choir at 6:30, and this week we're actually working on a new Love Shenanigans for June. And we've invited some of the other churches that we used to sing with at the Pride and Faith Festival, and we've also invited the ITAV leaders, including Mama Ashley Rose, to come sing with us. So we want to do a production of Somebody to Love by Queen. And so we plan to record the song this Wednesday at 6:30. And then on Saturday, this next Saturday at 10 a.m., we want to meet in Munn Park to video a Love Shenanigans. If you want more details about that, you can ask Adam or Justin. And next week, Sunday service will be presented by our UUCL women's group. They're a very wise group of women, and it will be, it's called Chaos to Compassion. And it will be somewhat related to what we talked about today, but I know that they're putting their own dramatic twist on it. So anyway, we can show our Love Shenanigans video that we did for May, in which we went to the park and handed out flowers. And then we will gather for the potluck. I purposely ended early today so that we would have more time and energy to be together. So enjoy the Love Shenanigans, and we'll see you soon.
I am the spirit of liberty and the progress of what? What am I the progress of?
There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. Nothing you can say that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can do that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. 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 Love is all you need.